post 2020. We are just every single day we are getting closer and closer to having, Christmas, and then it's New Year's, and then believe it or not, we are, we're like 30 days less than 30 days away from the new year. And this is not normal for, whenever you're in that holiday cycle and you're not thinking about, oh my gosh, we are like literally at the end of 2019 and it is about to be a new year. And so that is why I wanted to refocus us and take some time in December to really focus on what do we want to achieve in 2020, you can look at every single aspect of your life, your health, your finances, your relationships, relationships with your kids, with your spouse, with your faith, and think about how can I get focused on one centralized idea that's going to impact every single area of my life. And if I can focus on one word for 2020, then I can, accomplish so many things, because if it doesn't fit this, then I'm not going to focus on it. And so that is why, 2 years ago was probably the first time I ever picked a word. So that was 2018. And then it's something that I've really thought about every single year around December. And this is the beginning of December, so it's the perfect time to do that, where you think about, what do I want to accomplish in the next year? And so I put together this worksheet, because thinking about this word for 2020, you don't want to just rush into it. It's something that takes some thought, some planning, some prayer, and really think about, okay, I want to shut down, all the distractions for a little while, and I really want to pay attention to what God's telling me, to what, my scripture, what's opening up, while I'm reading in the Bible, and what is the direction that He wants me to go in the new year. And so there's a couple of different, ideas that you can just throw out there. And that's part of what this worksheet is. Is there, courage or brave or simple, simplicity, alignment, authenticity? There's so many different words that you could come to mind while you're doing this. And so I want you to grab this worksheet that I put together, and it's going to walk you through 3 simple steps to help you pick your word for 2020. And it's as simple as a download. I'm going to email it to you so you can do it on your own time. So if you want to take, a couple days to think about, write down some different words that are speaking to you over the course of a week, and then really hone in on what is that one centralized word, that one idea that you want to focus on for the next year. And so you could even, once you pick your word, I would say put it on a coffee mug, maybe a shirt, maybe your phone case or something like that. And so that you have that word to remind you, this is where I want to go in the next year. And if it doesn't fit in this, then I'm not going to go that way, because I am focused on this. And so I know my word for 2018, I think, was brave. And that was the year that I was pregnant and I had just lost my mom, and there were a lot of things that were happening. And so I had picked that word before I knew anything. And I was like, man, God was really calling me to step way outside of my comfort zone and really trust on Him. And really, it grew my faith during that year more than any other time, because I knew that this was not something I could do by myself. And so I'm thankful that He showed that word to me, that brave word, because it wasn't about me being brave on my own. It was me being brave because I knew I wasn't alone. And so that was my word for 2018. And like I said, that was a very, very, very tough year. But that I knew that word, and it was just being revealed to me through other verses. And I would just see it, and it was like, yes, that's what I'm called to do. I'm called to be brave. And so think about how that word can play, your word of the year can play throughout, through the good times and through the bad times. There are struggles and through our valleys, and how one word can help remind you who you are and whose you are. And so anyway, so I am I'm going on and on and on, but the very first thing I want you to do is grab that free worksheet so you can pick your own word. And like I said, 3 simple steps so that you can walk through, really think about where you want to go in 2020. And I can't wait to hear what your word of the year is. And if you've already discovered what your word is going to be, drop it below, because I want to know, I want to hear what your word is going to be and what you're going to be focused on. And so remember, drop the word below, word, and I will message you and send you that worksheet.